Getting back to basics. Remember that the name didn't make you, you made the name. When I make these videos, they are mostly, by and large, myself saying whatever I need to hear the most at that moment in time. And right now, I feel that this is what I need to hear. Um, you like the stuff, you like the attention, the fancy cars, the fancy places that you get to walk in, the rooms, the experience, and that is a part of it, right? 100,000%. It's a part of why you do it. It isn't why you do it, and it wasn't that way many moons ago, and so you have to be kind of grateful to the bone and soak in the experiences that they come, but also remember that those things can be smothering. you know the fancy cars, the attention, the girls, so on and so forth, can be smothering from success, can be taking you away from doing the core activities that got you to that position to begin with. And you don't want to do that. Number one, you don't want to believe your own hype, because you need to remember that you made the name. The name didn't make you. I'll say that one more time in case you didn't completely process it. The name didn't make you. You made the name. Meaning, now that you have the name, or there's somewhat of a name, of somewhat of a reputation, somewhat of something surrounding your name, there's some sort of hype. Okay, that hype didn't create who you are. Who you are created that hype. And so if you believe the hype and you feed into that, or you lean into that, and you go away from doing the core activities that got you that name to begin with, then guess what goes away? The opportunities will either reveal you or they will expose you. And the difference is preparation. Preparation prevents poor performance. And so show up for yourself, man. Show up for yourself, get back on that grind, get back on that horse. And in doing so, in doing that, you continue to become externally who who you've always known yourself to be, or who you've always known that you could be if you put your mind to it. Well, continue to put your mind to it. Continue to put that energy out into the universe. Continue to build evidence that you are who you think you are. Continue to bend space and time around you to your will, because that's what's got you here to begin with. That unrelating faith and that incredible work ethic. And if you lose those two things, you start to have a faith in something that is outside of yourself, that you think is a personification of you, that you think is yourself existing outside of your body and is going to continue to garner that same results, then you're going to be in trouble one day soon. One day soon, you're going to be in trouble. If you allow that to happen to you, if you allow yourself to move away from the hard work and from the things that got you here, you're going to be in very, very big trouble someday soon. That's number one. And you're going to lose that incredible trajectory that's getting the attention to begin with. And big number two is that hard work. If you don't keep that core foundation of you need to grind your butt off, and because that's what got you here, if you don't continue to grind your butt off, then you're not going to be here. Someone else is going to come along, someone else who's actually hungry for it, who actually wants to do the thing, who actually wants to get the result that you say you want and you've gotten a taste of and you are capable of producing. But if you move away from that hard work, then you won't realize your dream. You're going to be just like everyone else who says they want it but don't actually want it. Because, oh, we all want it and we all want to get it. We all want to be that incredible thing, be that incredible person, move in incredible ways, in incredible places and do incredible things until you get a little bit of money. Oh, then all of a sudden you don't want it that bad. You want it. You really, really want it. You don't just want to be this moderately successful person doing normal things. In a normal, you want to live in that higher echelon of life, and you want to roll with those people, do big things in very big ways. That's until you get that little bit of attention, until you have that little bit of fame, popularity, whatever you want to call it. Then now you're starting to flinch. Okay, no, but the popularity is cool, and the popularity actually drives you to continue to do your thing because you're really nice with it, right? You're really, really good until you get that girl. And then she wants to spend time that you would usually be using to focus on your craft and molding and developing it a, a little bit more than reasonable. There's that reasonable amount where you're like, okay, I'm a human being. Having a healthy relationship is a good. It's going to be a net positive for me mentally. It's going to be a net positive for me productively, knowing that I'm doing this for more than just myself. That then I literally need more resources in order to be able to sustain a larger group of people. Yes? Okay, awesome. But then it oversteps that and it starts stepping into, again, that hard work that we talked about. So, okay, so you're cool with your own personal seeing your trajectory. Okay, so you're cool when other people start to notice your trajectory. You bring a girl into the equation, all of a sudden you crumble. All of a sudden you're not showing up on time. All of a sudden you're just a little bit slower on your step. And that's when he's gonna catch you. That guy who's second, who isn't satisfied by that, who'd rather go without up until he gets to the next level. Then we'll see what goes on with him. So okay, you're cool with the seeing your own trajectory. You're cool with other people seeing your trajectory, and you can handle having the women in your life and that attention being pulled as well. You can handle the family things. You can handle continuing to maintain and develop your body, your self development. Cool. If you continue to have the combination of all these things, and you find yourself with that stable core and able to add other things. I'm not saying don't add other things into your life. I'm not saying don't have the fancy cars. I'm not saying don't have the attention, because they will come with your ability to continuously develop in your craft, right? And so those things aren't necessarily an evil, because at the end of the day, we aren't in the craft for the sake of being in the craft. And if you were, then you wouldn't really be developing that fast. And how do you know you're developing if you don't have access to those resources? If those people, those things are not happening for you, or are not resources that you have access to, then you may not be as good as you think you are. And so that external is a feedback system, but it should be no more, no less than a feedback system, and it should feed back into that stable core of what it is that we did, who it is that we were in order to get here. And sometimes who you were that got you here is not going to get you any further. But until you get to that point, you will continuously do what it is that got you to that point. Until there's a time where you have to reassess, start thinking about leverage, start thinking about longer term plays, and how what you're doing now is going to affect that, and how you should change your approach or your system. Up until that point in time, continuously do what you do, and don't let the success, don't let the cars, don't let the women smother you from success. All right. If you did in fact enjoy today's video, please hit that subscribe button. I have been Sage, standing on business. Signing out.